Welcome back to the Business Blast, brought to you by Satco. Go to satco.com. What's up, Greg Eric?
You check out Satco for anything you need. And I'm telling you, anything lighting, whether it's the traditional style of it, if it's
Mm-hmm.
a fluorescent or an LED, they typically have a replacement. And they'll also give you the fixture to go with it and the components and everything that's involved. So if you need a lighting line, you've heard it before, you can't hear it enough, you need Satco.
Just the other day, where am I going to get this weird thing? Um, Socket for a PLL long twin tube.
Ew.
Guy, the guy wants to keep all his fixtures. Satco had the socket. Go to satco.com. Um, so I had an interesting situation arise. I had a guy that used to work for me for a long time, and then he started his own company. Okay. And so, as you know, I used to have a pretty big electrical contracting business years ago. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
But he was the one guy when after I lost the contract I was working on, he was the one guy out of all of them that I kept working for me because
Okay.
he was very reliable, safe electrician, always did a great job, good guy, everything else. So I kept him on staff. Okay, COVID-19 strikes. He starts his own company, right? There's no work.
Yeah.
He starts doing his own electrical work for people. Now he's not an employee anymore. Okay. And so we had a situation where he decided on a job that he was working on. He was doing this project, this facade lighting project for me. He decided to drive the lift across the grass at the job.
Yep.
And got the lift stranded. Right? And I said, well, you
Yes.
need to fix the problem. You can't leave it like that. So he said, I don't know how to fix the problem. I'm just going to leave it till tomorrow. And then, whatever, I'll come back with the stuff and I'll get it out with my truck. Right? And I said,
Right.
you can't leave it till tomorrow. Someone has to stay with the stranded lift until the lift is put back in a safe position. You can't leave it stranded there.
Yeah.
So, anyway, long story short, I had to rush down there. We figured out to call a tow truck. The tow truck pulled the lift out. Okay. So when he sent me his invoice, not his payroll. Okay. He's
Yep.
now a subcon. He's now a partner, right?
Sure.
I said to him, I'm charging you 5 hours of my time and the cost of the tow truck for your mistake.
What do you have to say about that?
He didn't like that.
I bet not.
Why do you think he didn't like that?
Because he felt like well, number one, he doesn't work for you anymore, right? He has his own company, and he felt like it was probably his call to make if the lift could stay there or not, even though it's your job you sold. He's the
Yeah.
labor, he's the electrician, so he makes the call.
Yeah. Except that it's a 1/4 on city property and it's an open pedestrian walkway on one of the busiest streets in Toronto. Can't leave the lift there. Nope.
You can't leave the lift there.
No. We're not leaving a stranded lift there on Bloor Street in
Right,
Toronto. That's not going to happen.
right.
So
Yeah,
we're all staying here and standing around until the lift is no longer stranded. So anyway, I carved it out of his invoice, all the costs, in 5 hours of my time. At his rate, though, I was polite. I didn't charge him what
yeah.
I think my time is worth. I charged him
Sure.
just his time. And he took this quite personally, actually. He was very upset.
Hmm.
What do you think? Should he be upset?
I think if it was just a straight up invoice without a discussion, maybe. I don't know about upset, but I think you should be understanding of where you're coming from. But it might have been like a discussion point. Like, hey, let's talk this thing through because you just wasted 5 hours of my time and I had to. Did you pay for the tow truck?
Yeah, oh yeah. I charged it back
Oh,
to
and
him
you
then.
paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you paid for it. Yeah, so I think just the discussion about it maybe would have mitigated it to some degree, but he still might have not gotten anywhere because sometimes when you do that, the discussion you don't get as far as if you just hit them hard with the big thing.
Yeah.
Like here's a charge,
Hmm.
and then you discuss.
Yes.
that's a fine, that's a line is like, you got to kind of know the person to some degree too, and what the situation is, whether it makes sense to hit them hard first with a tire iron, or, just softly tap them with the tire iron.
Yeah, I mean, this is the difference between being an employee and owning your own business, folks. At the end of the day, guess what? When we're partners, you pay for your mistakes, I pay for my mistakes. You know what I mean? You're charging the big bucks now, sucker. You own your own
Yep.
company, we're partners. If you're my employee, it's a different story. Now you're my problem.
Right.
You're allowed to make mistakes. I'm the boss. I have to take care of everything in a crisis. But if I have to drive down there and save your ass, you got to pay. No?
Fair. Yeah, no, that's fair. Step up.
That was the business blast for you folks. SATCO.com, sacco.com. Check them out.